Good morning, children. Welcome to Nelson School Distant Education System, subject English Grammar for grade 8th, and the topic is Simple Compound Complex. In the previous session, we have solved the fair book exercise of the simple synthesis using participle and the helping verbs. So in this session, we'll clear the solution of the sentences using the infinitive. So it is simple, compound and complex. So it's by using infinitive. Now whenever we use the word infinitive, one thing that strikes our mind is using the usage of the TO2 plus verb. Now we have to make sure that whichever verb we use with TO2 always comes in its first form, or you can say in the root verb. So it's the fair book exercise number 3. This is how it looks like. So it's he has debts, he has to pay them. So the very first step will remain same in all the 6 different kinds of simple synthesis. To just go and circle or highlight the finite verbs. So he has debts, the finite verb is has, okay, then he has to pay them, again the finite verb is has. So we have 2 finite verbs. Out of that, one finite verb will keep same and the other finite we have to change it to non-finite verb. Now you can see here the usage of he and he is there. So the subject is repeated, so one of the subjects will cut. Now we are keeping this as it is because we have to use 2, okay. So it is he has debts. Now again he has is repeated. So I'll cut he has. Okay. So it is he has debts to pay them. So I have used TO2 and PAY pay. The verb pay is in its root verb or the root form of the verb. Number 2, I go to school. I want to learn. So the finite verb is go. And again the next finite verb is want. Learn is a non-finite verb because it is after TO2. So this is a non-finite verb. So we have 2 finite verbs, go and want. Okay. So it is I go to school. Okay. And this finite verb I have to change. So I have to keep to learn as it is. So this I'll eliminate. So it is I go to school to learn. Okay. Number 3, she helps the poor. She wants to make them happy. Now the first finite verb is helps the poor, okay. Next is wants. Again to make is a non-finite verb, so don't get confused. There are 2 finite verbs, helps and wants, okay. So she helps the poor. Now to make them happy is already there in the question itself, okay. So it is to make them happy because she is repeated, I'll cut. And wants is the finite verb that I'll eliminate because the meaning lies here only. She wants to make them happy. So she helps the poor to make them happy. Number 4, he is very weak, he cannot run. Now children, we already have done this transformation of removing TOO2, the adverb of degree, and instead of TOO2 we put so that cannot when the verb is present and so that could not when the verb is past. Now here the first finite verb is and the next finite verb is can, okay, can run. So now it is cannot. So we'll change it to he is too and it is cannot used. So it is he is too weak. Okay, remove very and put TOO2 adverb. He is too weak to run. You used to remove this TOO2 and put so that and cannot. So now instead of this I'll remove cannot and I'll put he is too weak to run. Next number, Ram went to the forest. He wanted to keep his father's promise. So the first finite verb is went. The next finite verb is wanted. Keep is a non-finite verb because it is to keep. Okay, after to it comes. And there are 2 finite verbs, went and wanted. So what you could do is you can see a hint over here that is to keep his father's promise. So I'll cut this only, I'll eliminate because the meaning is conveyed without this wanted also. And now this he stands for Ram only. So I'll cut he also. So it is Ram went to the forest to keep his father's promise. Next is, he is very young, he cannot understand your problem. So the first finite verb is, the next finite verb is cannot. So I have to remove cannot and I have told you whenever we use cannot, could not, so we have to use TOO2. To remove cannot and could not, we have to use TOO2 and then infinitive to. So I cut very, okay, because this also shows degree. So instead of this adverb of degree, use TOO2 adverb degree. So it is he's too young to understand your problem. Okay, he cannot understand, so he's too young to understand your problem. So this to infinitive I have put and understand it's used in its root verb. Next, the teachers held a meeting. They wish to discuss a new education policy. So the teachers held a meeting. Held is a finite verb. They wish to discuss the new education policy. So it's wished. Okay. Two finite verbs we have already got. Now in the question itself, you can see they wanted to discuss. So wished or wanted is the verb that you can eliminate because that conveys a meaning without this also. So it is the teachers held a meeting to discuss the new education policy. I'll remove they because it stands for the teachers, and we'll remove wished because itself conveys the meaning that they wanted to discuss the policy. Next, she has two guards. They take care of her bungalow. So has is a first finite verb and take is a second finite verb. So they have two finite verbs. Out of that one finite verb, I'll change. Now in this change, here you can see that this is a main verb, and if I remove take, then we cannot get the meaning cannot convey, the sentence cannot convey its meaning. So instead of making this, eliminating this, I'll put TO2. So it becomes non-finite. So it becomes she has two guards. Okay. Now they take care of her bungalow. Now these two guards, I have already used these two guards. So I'll remove they. So it is to take care of her bungalow. Number 9, he wants to open the secret. He wishes to get the chair of the chairman. So it wants, okay, is the first finite verb. Wishes is the second finite verb. To open is the non-finite. To get is the non-finite verb. So in this case, we have two finite verbs, wants and wishes. Okay. So again, he wants to open the secret. Now this is to get the chair of the chairman. So it is to get the chair of the chairman. He, you cut because it stands same the subject it is. Wishes you can eliminate because it is able to get the meaning or convey the meaning. Last number is I have work. I must finish it. So the first finite verb is have and the next finite verb is must. So it is two finite verbs we have already got. Okay, now must shows the compulsion that you have to do it. So I will write I have work. Now must you can eliminate because it shows compulsion that you have to do it. So it is to finish. So I have work to finish. I'll remove it. Why? Because this it stands for work. And I'll again remove I also because it is repeated. Now understood? So it is I have work to finish. I, because it is repeated, I'll cut. It stands for the work that I have already used. So this also I'll cut. Thank you.